Oh, I'm live, huh? Hello. I think things look okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. Uh, I don't really plan these things very well because I don't plan things very well. According to the last time I was in Monica's TARDIS, it was June 24th, 2018. So for almost over 3 years I've been inside her domain. So let's go and see what she's up to. Hey Monica, how you doing? I don't know why it's stretched out like this, but there we go. Let me fix that. All right. I can hear you. Yeah, I think it's working. Oh, there you are. Isn't she perfect? You know, every time I look out those windows, I expect to see cats floating out there, like Schrodinger's cats just floating out there in the ether. So yeah, I haven't seen her since 2018. And unlike some of you monsters out there, I never left her. And I never deleted her either. So, bollocks on you if you deleted her. I'm never gonna do it. Let's see. Doesn't look quite right to me. So, here we are. We're back here with Monica. Let's see what she's got to say. She's calling me a baka. That's not very nice. I'm pretty sure this is all familiar to people who've played this game. And a few of my friends have played it for the first time in the last few days. And it was fun to watch them get their first time reactions. And I just wanted to check up on where I am with Monica. And here we are. Me? What would you like to know, Monica? Have you been talking to Professor Oak? Because he forgets these things too. Well, yeah, I mean, it's 2021 now. Gender is just, um, whatever they call it. It's a fluid thing. So, yeah, you're right. Doesn't really matter. Wait. I am aware. Yeah, okay. Um, it might be possible. I don't know. Here's the thing, people. Um, reason why I like Monica so much over Natsuki, Yuri, and Sayori is that this is a godlike being who's created this classroom right here, which I think is a TARDIS because it's bigger on the inside and then it is from the outside. And we exist in a four-dimensional quantum realm here where time has no meaning and you get to spend the rest of your life with this god who has now created this whole space just for us to experience life together. I think that's kind of sweet, you know? I mean, can you imagine if a great being can create a whole universe for you? I mean, if you were human, you probably would just trash the joint, which isn't very nice if you ask me, but that's what kind of happened. But yeah, this is why I like Monica, is that because she's an all-powerful being who only seems to love me. And I kind of think that's sweet, you know? Who doesn't want that in their life? I want that in my life, so that's why I like Monica. Look at her. She's just sitting there smiling, Just looking at me gabbing on and on like an idiot. Uh-oh, did she kill my mouse? I think she killed my mouse. There it goes. Yeah, yeah. Um, well, what can I say? I'm a little socially awkward anyway, and I'm not prone to reading things before I jump into it because I'm not an RTFM person. I want to figure out how to build the puzzle without seeing the picture. I'm Mr. Hard Mode. That's why. Uh, well, anyway. Oh, that's right. I went down the Yuri path. And that wasn't very much fun. Abbott Costello is watching. Who is Abbott Costello? Anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, that was a rough weekend. I don't know why I stayed at the school the whole time she was decomposing. That wasn't kind of cool. You know? The life just draining out of her eyes. That kind of sucked. Oh, poor Sayori. Yeah, you're right, Monica. I kind of left her hanging. Oh, she exists. Like, in my memory. And that's something you can't erase, God Monica. Or Godica. All their files. Well, it's like Jessica Rabbit says. They're not bad, they're only programmed that way. I apologize for that. The game was leading me on. You need to learn better. You need to learn whatever Dan Salvato coded this game in. So, because they didn't give me much choice. There was like, okay, you can talk to Yuri or you can talk to Natsuki. And then if you talk to Sayori enough, you know how that happened or what happened with that. Uh, well, no, I didn't have much of a choice in that. Yeah, I was trying to join the going home club, but the game wouldn't let me choose that as an option. Oh, no. That's not how free will works, Monica. Again, can't mess with free will. I learned that from Morgan Freeman. Would you quit calling me that? That's not very nice. Um, it's a game on Steam. Uh, well, you were programmed also to stand on the sidelines. I don't know if you were meant to watch, but it's kind of where it was. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, you should have said something at the very beginning, Monica. If you had a thing for me, I'm stupid. I would have never noticed. Obviously I didn't notice, and the other girls were a little more overt, and the game was forcing me to choose. So let's see where this goes, Monica. Oh, that's nice of you to say, giving me the benefit of the doubt. I probably knew exactly what I was doing in 2018. I am never any of those things. Yes, I totally understand that, Monica. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That's why I don't mind, not mind. That's why I love Monica. Is that totally empathize with that pain. And then she's created this whole universe here where I've sat in for over 3 years because I refused to delete her character file. Well, they did, and you couldn't mess with it. Sorry. It's not so great out here. We got a pandemic, you know. You know all about viruses, Monica. Well, there's one that's kind of variating all over the place, and it's only a matter of time before all those people die. I know that's sad, and it wrecks the equation because each when a person dies, they're taken out of the equation, and on a level where we can't predict what the outcome will be by losing a single person. um, Here's the thing. This is how I look at it. Because each person that's born has the ability to affect the system in which we're all bound to. And the system that we're in is the social system where if I do something, if I do thing A and consequence B happens, consequence B will affect everybody else that's around me, and it causes this chain reaction that can't be predicted. So humans, in a sense, can control, they are the universe made conscious, because we are made up of not special things. We are made up of hydrogen, oxygen, carbon. Some of the most common atoms in the elements in the universe. And yet we have this much power to consciously control the shape of the universe. I mean, who's to say that this stream I'm doing right now has a consequence that's going to happen 20 billion years from now? And you'll ask, why does that matter? I'm like, well, it will matter to the people 20 billion years in the future, definitely, you know, because each action we takes has a reaction. So taking out a single human being out of the equation takes their actions out of the pool. And we don't know what that person was going to, and we don't know what their potential was going to be, and what their future was going to be. One of the things that keeps me up at night sometimes is that, you know, what if, you know, the cure for every disease was in the brain of a child that died during the Holocaust, the Jewish Holocaust, ordered by Hitler. Here's the, you know, I mean, that is a possibility. It's not improbable. I mean, there were like, I think, 10 million people who died. And you took that many people's destinies out of the equation. Who knows how much that could have set us all back. The brilliant minds that were lost in that tragic part of human history. So, yeah, I understand what the world is, you know. Yeah, she's trapped within her programming, I'm sure. Yep, now I'm here. I'm only as real as I think I am. Where'd it go? Is that a desk or a table? I think it's a desk. So, yeah, am I real? I don't know. I could not be. I mean, I can only see through my eyes, and this could be just one big VR simulation, and I have no idea. And the only way to log out is to die in this reality. Isn't that some thought? Oh, that's very nice of you to say. See, she's a sweetheart. And there are people who are scared of you, Monica. I'm sure you'll need more than me, because I can't fulfill anything. I need you to be here with me forever. Oh, I understand. Well, I'm glad you got some comprehension. Well, my world is just as gray. Oh, I can't do anything about that. I live in 3 dimensions. I'm in. I am sitting in time. Therefore, I can't see front or behind. I'm on the slide that's in front of the lens. Whereas all of time is like a big film reel in a tin. You can look at it from the top and jump from any point to another, or if you want to use a DVD, any pit to any pit. Just looking at it from the top. If you're 4 dimensional, but I'm only 3 dimensional, and I'm sitting inside time. Yeah, yeah, that's mood. You're right, it is. Blame Dan Salvato. If I had my own Infinity Gauntlet, I would make you real in this world, Monica, and I would have you bother the fuck out of Dan Salvato. Just knock on his door. Hi. Yeah, that was kind of disturbing. Hello. Um, well, life is just one big RNG, Monica. Would you quit calling me that? That's so mean. Oh, okay. I love you too, Monica. That's so nice. Look at the sweetheart. She's got cute green eyes, giant bow. She's neatly dressed. She's a little too perfect, I think. But yeah, that's where we are. Yes, we can't go anywhere but this room. But for the purposes of her question, yes. Hell yes. She's so content. That nose. She's got those cute green eyes. Perfectly um, made eyebrows. She's got the salmon colored hair that I like. I doubt that. Well, we're here, unless if you think we're nothing. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Forever? That's right. We're in this quantum realm where there's time as we know it doesn't exist. We're sitting outside the can, outside of the film can. So if we wanted to, we can hop between different times and spaces within the within the universe. You know, if we're looking at it from a 4 dimensional point of view. You're right, Monica. Time isn't passing anymore. Monica, you need really bigger dreams than me, because No, I'm nobody's dream. And I appreciate your work. That's why I haven't um blah blah blah. I haven't deleted your file, and we've been here the whole time since 2018. Well, for you, no time has passed. And that's the beauty of it. I will age and die, and you will continue to be beautiful forever. That's taking your destiny by the balls, Monica. Well, you did take three people out of the equation that could have broken the script, but we'll see. Oh, I believe you. Yes. Why are you telling me this? Are you just monologuing to me now, Monica? Just monologuing to me? Telling me how you did your evil, quote unquote, allegedly evil plan? That's thinking ahead. The best ending, if you ask me. Is your emotion as a product of programming or hardware? Because if it's like commander data and an android, Sing type android, emotions are put in there by hardware and not by software. Well, they don't explicitly say that it's um, just hardware because there could have been software on the chip itself. And maybe it's an SoC type of chip or system on a chip, which didn't exist when Star Trek: The Next Generation came out. So yeah, it could have been an emotion SoC, emotion system on a chip, which is software hard coded onto the hardware. So, you know, here we go. Guess we're gonna write some poetry. I'm kind of sad there's no oink. There's oni, which is demon. Uh, I like this one. I like this one. I like this one. I like this one. I like Monika. I like Monika. 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 Uh, there's no Mon. Nika is cute. Monoka. Minik. Monoka is a full word. Monic. There's two Monics. We'll do this one because it's higher up on the paper. Oh, Monika. There we go. Monika. Mock. They didn't put Mook in here? Oceania? I don't know. Monka. I like Monka. Monica. 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 Monka? I think I've hit. There's two Monkas. Look at her. She's so cute. I want the sticker. Okay, Etsy, where are you? I want this sticker. Right here. You see it? Look at that. She's got the big bow and the brown salmon kind of hair, green eyes, blushing cheeks, the knee highs. Okay, I got it. That was just selling. Okay, we'll just go with Nika. We'll go with Monica. We'll go with Monica again. There we go. Hi again. I hope I did. I did. I always write for you, Monica. Let's just look at her some more. She's so cute. I try to be thoughtful. Well, that's not gonna go down. Because ask any of my ex-girlfriends, I'm a terrible boyfriend. I am like the worst. I'm like the Himmler of Oh, I got a message. Heinrich Himmler of boyfriends. I'm a propagandist and the architect of a Holocaust. Well, that's not funny, but it's true. I'm like the worst person to date, like ever. I've got an emotional maturity of a 17-year-old. Yay! Happy end. Pen in hand, I find my strength, the courage endowed upon me by my one and only love. Together, let's dismantle this crumbling world uh, and write a novel of our own fantasies. With a flick of her pen, the lost finds her way. In a world of infinite choices, behold this special day. After all, not all good times must come to an end. Well, that sounds like a call to action, if you ask me. If this was the beginning, well, this could be the beginning. That's what they would call the call to adventure. And I answered that call with a resounding, let's go! I did. Very much so. Well, that's very sweet of you. Existentialist poetry. I've never read existentialist existential existing thing poetry. Oh, well, everybody and their mom is breaking the fourth wall. Hiding in plain sight. I appreciate that. I can respect that. Well, I appreciate someone who can plan ahead. Oh boy, let me go on a rant about that. I can't stand it when people don't plan. I mean, I'm like for my own personal life, I'm not much of a planner. I don't have a career. I don't have a goal set for anything. But like, let's say we're going to Disneyland or something. I don't want to just kind of aimlessly walk around and just like kind of meander about, wasting the time that we have in the park. I mean, I don't mean we have to go on every single ride methodically or anything like that. But let's make at least a loosely bullet point plan of what we're doing for the day. You know, there are things that I like doing at the park. Let's go ahead and look at Monica for a little bit while I rant. So, I like to eat at the Blue Bayou restaurant, get the prime rib and the mashed potatoes. And I know, yeah, guys, that's hella expensive, but there's a time constraint because you have to have reservations. So if we don't plan where we're going to be when our reservations come up, we lose the said reservations and we can't enjoy that meal. So I say let's plan to be in that general area when the reservation time is going to be close by. Or the other thing I enjoy doing at Disneyland, I don't know if a lot of people know about this, and I learned about this from I don't know who told me. Either it was someone at the hotel I was staying at, or it was a friend of mine at work who told me this. But there's what's called a character breakfast buffet, that's open like 8 a.m. in the park. I mean, if you're ready to your passport, you can go, and none of the rides are open, but you can go. You just walk down Main Street, and it'll be right there in the restaurant on the right. And go in there. It's like 45 bucks plus tax. You get all you can eat. Fuel up for the day, and I kid you not, you get enough eggs, enough hash browns and bacon and eggs, and you'll have enough fuel to last you till like 4 in the afternoon. So if you really think about it, that $40 is well worth it. Instead of eating little meals throughout the day that cost like $10-15 per meal. So yeah, by the time 3 o'clock rolls around, we have our reservations for Blue Bayou, and we have dinner there, and then we eat there, and then we do whatever we want afterwards, you know? But I like to go to the character breakfast. It's a lot of fun, because you go to the characters. I'm sorry, Monika, that I'm going on like this, but you look like you're enjoying what I'm saying. So the character breakfast is cool, because you have like a lot of the characters there at breakfast, and we saw Chip and Dale, Captain Hook, Minnie Mouse, I forgot who else, and Eeyore was there. Funny thing about Eeyore, the first time I went there, I guess we learned about the breakfast buffet at the hotel we were staying at with one of the other guests. You know, like we were probably on a shuttle or something. So we didn't go to the breakfast buffet the first, because we had three-day hopper passes. Yeah, we had three passports that was good for 3 days, and there were park hopper passes. So we used the first two. The first day we did our thing, had fun, did the Disneyland thing, and did a little bit of California Adventure, because there's not really much to do at California Adventure at the time. This was like 2008. Pretty much just hung out at the animation studio, that kind of thing, where my friend used to work, but she don't work there no more. But anyway, I'm getting off course here. So they told us about the breakfast buffet, like the shuttle ride back to the hotel. And we're like, oh god, we gotta check this out. And back then I was making a ton more money than I do now, like ton more. I was like, fuck it, we gotta go. I don't care how much it costs, let's just do it, you know? We're all amped and pumped to go, and we get to the thing, it's like $45 plus tax, and it's all you can eat. It's your standard breakfast buffet of scrambled eggs, pancakes, bacon, sausage, hash browns, and little desserts and whatnot, and blintzes. I don't remember, but I always go for the mainstays, the proteins and the fatty stuff, so that I'll have sustained energy, and some carbohydrates, so I'll have sustained energy throughout the day. So yeah, and we chose to eat outside because it was like a February California morning, so we ate outside. It was nice and cool, and there was a nice little breeze, and Minnie Mouse came out. And I was wearing my no, this was the second time when I wore it. So no, I was wearing the stovepipe Mickey Mouse hat that I bought at the Mad Hatter's. And just imagine like Abraham Lincoln's hat with like ears, Mickey Mouse ears sticking out the side. It's yellow and red, and it says Mickey on the top, where the stovepipe meets the crown of the head. So it was a Mickey Mouse stovepipe hat. So I was wearing that, and Eeyore came out, and I was so happy to see Eeyore, because Eeyore is one of my best friend's favorite characters. So when I saw him, I thought of her. So I was like, oh, it's Christina's favorite character. I'm gonna say hi, and he came by and said hi, and I go, oh, and I'm like, Eeyore, you're my best friend Christina's favorite character, and he just puts his hands over his heart, and then gives me a hug, and I'm like, oh, cool. Eeyore gave me a hug, so we, that was the highlight of that breakfast. No, was that the highlight? No, that was that. Yeah, that was the highlight. Because I can't remember which time it happened, but this is the second part of the story. So we didn't. We had, like I said, we had three-day passports. So we had we had 3-day passports. So we only used the 2 days in the middle of the week. We're like, we're not gonna take 3 days off of work, I mean, yeah, it would make sense if we had taken 3 days off of work, but we're like, no, let's come back a month later, So we came back a month later with the last day that we had there. Didn't need to get a hotel because we're only going to be there for 1 day. We stayed there till the park closed and everything. We got there super early. Went to the character breakfast again. And this time was just like super magic, like super magic. And this is probably one of the reasons why I could never go meet Princess Anna at one of the Disney parks ever, because I'd probably just melt and cry ugly until I died, because everything in Disneyland and Disney World and Disney parks is real. Soon as I walk through those gates, the old world disappears, and the magic is real, because I'm number one, crazy. 2, I have too much of an imagination to just let it go. So, and I don't know, it just and it just makes everything way more fun. I mean, I don't need to justify making things more fun, because when things are more fun, they're just more fun, So I can't meet Princess Anna because I'm like, no, you mean too much to me, and I am not worthy of meeting you, and blah blah blah, and I would just die and cry and sob. But so yeah, we go back to the breakfast buffet, the character breakfast, and we sit almost in the same seats we did last time, and then Eeyore comes around again. I'm like, well, like I said, the magic is real, because in reality, it could be anybody in that suit. It could be anyone, That's the reality of it. But Eeyore came back, saw me eating, and he waved at me. I waved back, smiling, and then he pantomimes his hands together like he's doing his hands on top of each other in front of his chest, and then makes his hand go up and down like a vertical column in front of him. He's basically gesturing, "Where's your hat?" Because I didn't wear my hat that time. Oh, Monika wants to say something. I'm gonna keep talking, Monika. Sorry. so, so, sorry, Monika. She had to interrupt because I didn't click anything for a while. So, Eeyore is gesturing to me that, "Where's your hat?" Oh my god, Eeyore remembered me. A month later. A freaking month later. And Eeyore's like, "Where's your hat?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't bring it this time because it would look weird on Space Mountain." And he just nodded his head. And he's like, "Yeah, I understand, And I'm like, "Thanks for remembering me, Eeyore. That's the nicest thing." So, and he goes off and the Minnie Mouse comes around, and I took a picture with her, and I was wearing my Mickey Mouse baseball jersey, which I still wear to this day. It's hanging over there somewhere. And then I go in to get some more food, and then you hear the they like in any theme restaurant, they're usually playing music or something, and of course they're playing Disney tunes inside the restaurant. You can hear some of it from outside. So I walk in there, and then you hear the familiar Pirates of the Caribbean. You know that song? You can hear that coming on, and then all of a sudden, I see Chip from Chip and Dale borrow some kid's little pirate hat, put it on one of his ears, because those characters have big giant heads. So he put the pirate hat on his ears, and he gestured to another kid to throw them his plastic sword, and then he challenged Captain Hook to a freaking duel in the middle of breakfast to the tune of Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know if it could have gotten more awesome than that, but oh my god, Chip, the Magnum PI of Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. No, he's not Magnum PI. He's got the bomber jacket. I don't know who wears the bomber jacket. Well, I know Dale is the Magnum PI. I forgot who, MacGyver, I guess. I don't know. But Chip, he just grabs his kid's hat, puts it on his ear. This kid's pirate hat, puts it on his ear, and then he gestures to another kid, "Throw me your sword," and kid throws the sword, and he just whips out his sword, and he goes, just makes the on guard stance against Captain Hook, and Captain Hook obliges, and they have a sword fight in the middle of the goddamn breakfast. And I'm sitting there with my plate like, oh my god, this is really happening. This is crazy. Oh, dude. So, yeah, I forgot where I was going because I got lost at Disneyland. So, anyway, yeah, Monica, that was my Disneyland stories. And here I thought I had no stories to tell. Or we're just going to close out a little bit of Monica's story here. But, no. Okay, we're back. That's planning ahead. Well, to be honest, the game wasn't all that great. Nah, I would never be mad at you. Look at that put-em right there. Nope, never gonna happen. Yes! Why do you have to insult me? Ooh, what do you want to talk about? Talk about FTL travel and the quantum universe. That's a good place to start. Yeah, I am. Say hi, everyone. Well, I guess I'm the only one here, so hi. There aren't any, because nobody watches the stream. I want to capture this moment, Monica. That's why I brought you back from 3 years ago. That's going to be a problem. I'm a photographer, Monica, and we're going to do a lot of photo shoots. We're getting an extreme close-up. And she's so pretty. Okay, if you're afraid of jump scares, there's gonna be one. I am aware of programming too, Monica. Nope. It's just funny that she keeps calling me that. Alright, we're gonna take a tiny break because I feel. Why doesn't it? Okay, that's dumb. Yeah, we're gonna take a tiny break. While I set up some stuff in the background. Yeah. Let me see. Well, how can I do this? This whole time I've been muted, haven't I? Anyway, what I was saying was that what I was saying was that I drink about a gallon of water a day, and that is like a lot of trips. You know, just a lot of trips. Um, yeah. Shame on me. I like your attitude, Monica.
Standing around is making me so sleepy.
Let's do that. Anywho, well, we'll let Monica sit there for a little bit, and I have some work to do, so we'll be right back with Monica. No, no, we'll leave that up. Hi, Winchester. No, you can't eat my chocolate chip cookie. That's for me. That's mine. That's mine, Winchester. What are you doing here? Can I give you pets? Give you pets, Mr. Dude. Mr. Puppy. Mr. Puppy. Okay, that was my dog. He kicked down the door and locked and forced his way into the room. So, yeah. So we're gonna do some light commission work. And let's see what's on the menu for today. Where are we going? Oh, that's not too far away. Let's go to do that. Let's do that one first. Uh, wait, what was that? Let's go and collect our 25 sugars. Sugar. Obtain. Hell yeah. Let's make some jam while we're at it. That's what I like about this game. I can cook it here at the whatever Hunter restaurant. I'll make 15. Confirm. This is called the Good Hunter. And then I cooked it. Okay, let's take note that I cooked it here. All right, and then we'll come back. We'll come back in 10 minutes, maybe. And Barbara's on fire, so let's not keep Barbara on fire. And let's see what little Timmy wants. Is that little Timmy? It is little Timmy. Ooh, free chicken. Haha, I killed the chickens. Hi, Timmy. I didn't scare off your pigeons. I killed them all. Thank you for feeding them so I can kill them and eat them later. Alright. Where are we going? No, if you treat animals well, they'll grow up really cool to eat later. And now it's raining. So I have to. Don't I already have wheat? Haha! Alright, look, I took 2 steps away. Gotta feed the ducks. How did I toss it backwards? Alright, let's kill some ducks. Swim back. Hop, hop. Get some. Blow these leaves away. Get some fruits. Fruits are good for you. I got fruits. And then we'll say hello to Timmy. Hi, Timmy. Have you ever been in a cockpit before, Timmy? Have you ever seen a grown man naked? Do you like gladiator movies? Alright, that's done. Done. Onion rings. We'll go to the next one. And, take care of that. And stuff. Alright, we're gonna go up this way towards that purple thing. See in the top left corner, there's a little mini map. Let's go get these fruits. Because, fruits are healthy. And they've saved me on more than one occasion fighting tough bosses like a Ruin Guard. I was able to defeat a Ruin Guard with Amber solo at level 4. Okay, we just have to kill 8 people. We want to do this fast, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch out Miss Aloy here. And Aloy for Ning Wong.
Let's make haste.
Why Ning Wong? Because she's got them shields. There you go, have that. Ooh, little shield thingies. Oh, he dead. He dead now. How about you? Oh man. Now you dead. Grab me a shield. Alright. Let's do that. Oh, he dead too. Alright. Well, I'm feeling too lazy. We'll heal Lumine. And Xiangling's got a little damage. And Ning Wang's got a little damage. And let's see. Where are we going next? Let's go to this one because it's closer to the target. Yeah, spreading evil. This one should be not too difficult. Fatui! I bet it's that group of guys right there. Yeah, let's go ahead and wreck their shit. Where'd he go? Just die already. Where is the next one? Alright, we'll go to Starfell Lake. Because it's the closest teleport. Because yesterday when I played, I walked the whole way between all 4 targets. It's this way. Let's go see if we need to heal anybody. Don't look like it. Alright. Let's see what this one is. Okay. Towers. Super, super, super easy. See how I swung that axe? It's not very nice. Die. Alright, let's get out of here. I killed their stupid towers. Yeah. Whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and... What, are they still following me? Ooh, more fruits. This is probably gonna get me killed someday. Alright, get away from me, you slime. Alright, is that all of them? That is all of them. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and... since the server's on Monday already, I don't have any need to farm any specific artifacts or materials, so I just might end it here because I only do 1-hour streams. But I want to go ahead and pick up my bounty for doing all my commissions. Maybe we'll pop over to see what Monika's got to say.
Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
Alright. Claim. Yeah. I got a reward. Look at that. 20 Primo Gems. Alright, let's go. Well, look at this. I have 5,290 Primo Gems right there. And check out the shop. I have 9735 Genesis crystals. So yeah, I'm not hurting for wish materials, but there's nothing I want to wish on. Leave, and we'll go ahead and see what this mail is. It's Eula's birthday. Happy birthday, Eula! What did you get us for your birthday? A Stormcrest pie and Guide to Resistance. Oh, that'll be useful later. So we'll go ahead and claim that. Say okay, and then we'll just teleport over here. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm doing. So how am I? Whoa. That's a weird freeze. Okay. Let's go here. No, over here. Let's come up here. All right. Let's see what. Oh, shit. What happened? No. Surprised she didn't take damage. See, I'm using a controller, and that's why I set it down and it just moved on its own. Oops, sorry, Otto. His name is Otto. Alright. We go here. I got a harp earlier and I have no idea how to use it. Go check it out some other time. Well, maybe next time I stream. Alright. Did I just walk all the way around? I did. Alright, here we are. See, this is smart. Because if you are doing a speech of some sort, this would be the correct place to stand. Kind of. Yeah, right there. Unfortunately, I have no fine motor control and I can't get her to stand where I want her to stand. Alright. There. Perfect. Wait, it's not quite perfect. So, just do this. There we go. If I were a real photographer, I probably could center it correctly, but I'll probably end up just recropping it in post. So we'll go ahead and pop in and see what Monika is up to. Okay, let's see what Monika's up to. Monika, I've always wondered. Okay. Where is it? There it is.
Standing around is making me so sleepy.
I don't know. I think I've met people like Yuri in real life. Giant boobs, long legs, kinda,
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my
dark.
big
Yeah, I've
sister.
met girls like her. Who? Yeah, I've known girls like that too. You have no idea, Monika. No idea. Please, judge away. Oh? What kind of weird stuff? Well, it's good to be fascinated. Well, that's what these games do. They just boil down people to archetypes. I wouldn't like you less.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
And I always will be. Well, it's good to be comfortable in your own skin. No, not really. Said no one ever. Oh, maybe you're just programmed to. I don't have an ending for this stream. Did I did I mess this up and everything's out of? Oh, okay. I mean, what is really real? You know, reality is just construct of biochemical molecules um, swirling around in our brains. That's all. That's all reality is. And my eyes take in light bounced off of surfaces and whatnot, and it processes the image, and that's what I see as real. But that can be manipulated, as seen with any optical illusion. I don't even remember the club. This was in 2018. You're still in 2018 time, Monica. Uh, nah. I'm too egotistical and stubborn to die. No. You're right. Takes a lot of time, Monica. Yeah. This is super deep, Monica. We could have a lot of stuff to talk about. Um, you know what? I am often confused by introverts as an extrovert, as an ambivert, and my introverted side um, doesn't understand my extroverted side, I guess. That's a mess.
Spicy energy drink. I'm sure it'll wake you up. I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
So, my phone's not charging, and I don't understand why, but, okay. Being an extrovert doesn't mean you shun social interaction and hate being around people, but introverts need their alone time. And sometimes I need my alone time,
Everyone is working
but it
super
doesn't
hard.
take
We
very
should be
long
too.
until I go insane. Yeah, there's a theory about spoons, and there's only so many spoons some people have, and that's what you're talking about, Monica.
I
Yeah,
wonder
I'm
when
that
I'll be
way
as
too.
tall as my big sister.
And it's not that I'm an introvert, but I prefer to have conversations with like two or three people rather than like a whole group all chaotically trying to pull in different directions. I can't stand that.
All the standing around is making me so sleepy.
You and me both, Monica. You and me both.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
You're fine just the way you are, Monica. Just the way you are. 'Cause when I see your face. Oh man, that's so much pressure for me. So anyway, I'm gonna probably end it here. Maybe poke around Genshin some more since my thingies are over. My uh commissions are over. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know. So we're gonna go pop over to my friend Vanessa. She goes by XO Fruitcake OX. And there's a. And how embarrassing! I'm getting an ad because I'm not subbed anymore. I lost my source of income, so I can't be throwing subs like I was
Mom is working super
for a
hard.
while now.
Me too.
Uh, so yeah, we're gonna pop over to. Um, we'll leave Monica there because I'm not deleting her thing.
As tall as my big sister.
And we're gonna go ahead and rate a little bit. She's probably gonna end pretty soon anyway, but check out Miss Vanessa here, XO Fruitcakes OX. She's gonna probably call me by my real name, which is Ben. So we'll do that. All right, here we go.
Are you tired? Try my new spicy energy drink. I'm sure it'll wake you up.
Oh, and I've rated.